Hi, everybody. It's Mike from Here, the Watchman. And today we have an explosive show for you, one like we have not done before. We have with us today the co-authors of the book, 28 Years, excuse me, to Nowhere, Mr. Larry Nicholes and Mary Ellen. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Thank you both for being here with us today. Now, Larry was on with one of my compadres, Lisa Haven, the other day. Lisa has one of the top-notch truther YouTube channels that's available out there. It's Lisa Haven News. You can find it by just going to Googling Lisa Haven YouTube. She does some wonderful interviews. She interviewed Larry yesterday. And Larry, I want to jump right into it with you. You have a bombshell to deliver today. You've already blown the covers off the Clintons. And now today, you have a new bombshell to drop that involves, it looks like the enemy is trying to set it up to impeach President Donald Trump. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, Mike, I don't know if it's a bombshell. It's just what is going on. I have people, obviously, throughout the years that are inside Washington, and they kind of keep me apprised of what's going on. And what I found out, and in as much as I found it out there, it's more of a confirmation there. What we're able to see is that they are moving directly to get Trump impeached. Now, let me explain that, folks. You have to understand Donald Trump went to Washington as president, representing us. We had no false ideas that he was a politician. He went there to represent the people. He caused the greatest problem in Washington that they've had in a bazillion years. He was not a part of the system. So they are bound to get him out. They're using from the old playbook that we developed back in 1986, one of the systems that works quite well. We picked it up. I got it from actually Hitler and Mein Kampf. If you tell a lie long enough and hard enough, and if that's the only thing people hear, eventually it becomes true. They're going to use this Russian connection and all of that stuff to impeach Trump. They've got to make him get out of office. Now, Mike, all of you, let me say this. Traditionally, when you get someone in at the White House that you don't like or is against your party or whatever, and you would have somebody like Donald Trump coming in, he's like a gift from heaven because they can use this president and just totally knock him out of the box every day. So he can never get anything done. So that's the traditional thing that I would look and expect to see, and y'all should be seeing that. They use Trump as a tool to block everything that he's trying to do, or the Republicans are trying to do. They block it by attacking him. But this time it's different. They're not going after him to use him as a tool to knock all of the stuff out that they don't want. They're going after the man. They are adamant. They've got to get rid of him. And for the first time, you know, Mike, all of you, I've been doing this for 28 years against the Clintons. I tried to tell people 20 years ago that the media was in on it, that Washington, D.C., there are no two parties there. There's just one. It's a game. They divide up and make you think you're with one, and then it's just an acting process. For the first time, everybody in America can see now that the media is an active participant in doing the job to get rid of Donald Trump, working with and in concert with the Democratic Party. It's obvious now. They have turned every weapon they have out in the open to get rid of Trump. And that's why, Mike, I know this is different. Now, then I found out a bit of news that most of you will find hard to believe. Maybe even I find it hard to believe, but it may very well end up being the thing that destroys us. You know, Mike, you've seen in the past of recent when conservative speakers, Republican, conservative, moral Christian congressmen, senators have town hall meetings, right? You've seen that. And then we find out that George Soros, Obama, this what they call the deep state, I call it, you know, I call it the swamp state. It's the system. Well, they're going out and they're paying people to stand up and protest and disrupt these town hall meetings. I think we need to look at those people and call them what they are, paid anarchists, to shut our voices down, to make sure our opinions don't get heard. So they occupy the whole time. Let me explain that. Let's say 100 people show up to a congressman who's speaking, a Republican congressman. And there's 20 of these anarchists there. And they totally dominate and shout down and attack. And the other 80 that represent us, their voices are never heard. When that congressman leaves that room, Mike, what do you think he's going to believe? What do you think he heard? He just heard those 20. The 80 of us that were there, we didn't even know we were there. So consequently, you've got a Republican leaves there, a conservative leaves there, and they think the whole room was with those 20 people. Well, that's bad enough. But here's the killer. Sometime in the middle of June, the trainers, the people that train the trainers of these anarchists, they're going to start changing their program. And once the impeachment process is started, they're going to go out, Mike, and these anarchists that are going to be in these town halls, guess what they're going to do, Mike?
I can only imagine what they're going to do, Larry. Tell us.
They're going to go in to these town hall meetings. They're going to disrupt it. They're going to riot. They're going to do all the things they've been doing against conservative speakers, except now, when Trump gets actually impeached, they're going to claim they're us.
Well, of course.
They're going to claim they're us. Yes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's one of the oldest tricks in the book. Now, Larry, I'm going to ask you a question. I want your opinion on this. Do you think that this whole Russian crap with Trump, and I had a very interesting conversation, Larry, with a Messianic rabbi in Israel the day that Trump was there in Israel. And that particular day, MSN, folks, MSN and other mainstream media outlets were reporting that Donald Trump was not the president that Israel wanted elected. And I asked this rabbi, is that true? And he goes, where did that come from? We love Trump in this country. He said, we've never seen a president that we are so happy to have as Donald Trump. And he said that all that we don't care about this Russian stuff, it's meaningless. You know, now here in the United States, everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. Do you think that this whole attack on on Trump regarding the Russian connection is the direct attack, while the Democrats, or the enemy as I call them, are trying to flank him?
Well, yes, in a way. What they're going to do, Mike, now, number one, from everything I have heard about this Russian case, there's nothing there. Number one, folks, having to do with him, quote unquote, giving out classified information to the Russian ambassador. Well, who is the general that was in there, the bald-headed guy, Mike, or McMasters or whatever? He was in the room. He came out and said it was not done, that nothing was given up, no sources or whatever. Even if he had given up classified information, the minute the President of the United States speaks it, it's declassified. So he cannot be prosecuted for that. There cannot be a crime there. The whole case of this Russian stuff is totally erroneous against Trump. Now, if Mike Flynn, General Flynn, if he actually called the Russians during the campaign and did something wrong as a private citizen, again, you understand under law that has nothing to do with Trump. So there's nothing there. So what are they doing? Like their whole plan, and I think you said it perfectly, that's a flanking maneuver. What they want to do is get Donald Trump under impeachment, under a special counsel, for example, Mueller, and open up discovery, Mike. Now, I'm going to make an exaggeration. Let's say Donald Trump took a pen, ink pen out of the White House ink pen, and put it in his pocket and mistakenly took it upstairs to their private quarters. And let's just say it's a crime for that pen to leave the White House. Well, they'll get him on it. They're going to take this discovery process and they're going to find something, Mike, that any one of us would do. Any one of us. Look, we sent Trump, folks, there because he was not a politician. We sent him there so that he would represent us. And all of this hatred against Donald Trump by the media, by Washington as such. Think about it, guys. Mike, do you realize when they show all this animus against Trump, do you know who they hate? Me and you.
Yeah.
Us.
Absolutely, they do. And they want to, Larry, especially voices like yours, voices like mine, voices like John B. Wells, voices like Steve Quayle, voices like Lisa Haven. They absolutely want to shut us up because we're telling the truth. That's right. They want us shut up. And above all else, folks, what I have seen, what I have witnessed, what I have fought against for 28 years is the gradual change of our form of government and our way of life. To date, there's already been a major change that I don't know if everybody in this audience has picked up on. But according to our Constitution, according to the way we've all been brought up, Washington, our government, is there to serve we the people. They've transformed it. They've already done this. They've transformed it to where they in Washington believe they are there to rule us. And they've already changed it that way. They've already changed it that way. Now they're just trying to close the deal, Mike. Wow. Now they're once and for all saying out in the open for anyone that has eyes to see, ears to hear, they are now saying, this is our time. And that's when I started over a year ago telling people that we were in the middle of a silent coup. We are in a coup. And that coup is to change our form of government totally. Totally. And the vehicle they're going to use if we don't stop them, Mike, is Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Wow, and we have talked. You and I have talked about that, Larry, on the past shows, the silent coup. Now, let me ask you this, and this is important. And by the way, Mike, before you do that, I would say it's kind of gratifying for you and I think. For me it is, and I'm sure it is for you, that finally we hear people like Rush Limbaugh calling it what it is, a silent coup. Oh, absolutely. Alex Jones calls it that. I mean,
Mhm.
it is starting to creep into mainstream media. I even read an article, I can't remember where it was, but they talked about the deep state. I mean, it was very interesting. But you know, Larry, we talk about this, and it's very frightening stuff to think that these evil forces out there can manipulate our system and take away from us what we, the people, voted into office. Now, how do we prevent Trump's impeachment? What is it that our listeners can do to make a difference?
All right. Let me say this first. Where did I come up? You were going to ask me, but I'll go ahead and ask me first. Where did I come up with 6 months? Why am I adamant in saying Donald Trump will be impeached? I don't mean the process over and him be thrown out of office, because you got to have an impeachment hearing, then you have a trial in the Senate. But sometime in the next 6 months, they will file impeachment charges against Trump. Why do I say 6 months? Well, folks, in 2018, every member of Congress has to run again. Every member. That means every Republican congressman up there's got to run and elect. A third of the Senate has to run in 2018. I don't know what percentage of that third is Republican, but it'll be a goodly percentage. Now is the only chance we have of stopping this. Between now and that 6 months, they're going to have to pull the trigger on the impeachment so that the Republicans can do whatever they've got to do to go along with it. Because remember, there's not two parties, folks. It's just one. The Republicans are just acting. They want Trump out as bad, if not worse, than the Democrats. But they have to get this done and get it out of the way so that 6 months from now they can start their own campaigns in earnest. Now, what's being told to the Republican politicians that have to run into 2018 from the Democrats and the media, you better get away from Trump or there's no way you'll win in 2018. That's not true. The only way these conservative members of the Republican Party win in 2018 is if they do what we need to do, and that is to support Donald Trump and to stop this witch hunt. So I ask everyone in this audience, please, Lord in heaven, please hear me. Our founding fathers gave us 3 weapons. They knew one day, they knew this day was coming. Matter of fact, they gave us a warning, said whenever there's a tyrannical government, we're supposed to overthrow it. They knew, and they gave us 3 weapons. And no, it was not the gun. No, it certainly wasn't the court system. They gave us our voice, Mike, our voices collectively, and our vote. Our voices collectively, and our vote. So, from now on, when there's a town hall meeting, when a Republican or conservative speaker is coming, every one of us, we need to show up. And we need to make sure that out of that crowd of anarchists, that politician hears us, or that speaker. And we've got to let the one tool we have, the one thing we have to save us, go to work. Folks, every politician in Washington, D.C. cares about one thing, Mike, and one thing only. They don't care about me. They don't care about you. They don't care about the country. They don't care about Muslims being persecuted. They don't care about Mexicans living in poverty and wanting to come here to America. They don't care about any of that. They care about keeping their job. This is all about their job. And we're going to have to convince them in the next 6 months to understand Donald Trump represents us. We sent him there. We're the people that they must have our vote for them to get to keep their job. And if they're going to try to please somebody to keep their job, it ain't going to be George Soros. It's not going to be the media. It's going to be us. And we have to be willing to say, Mike, if you don't do what we ask of you, then we're going in 2018 to send you home. Now, the Republicans are always going to come at you with this, guys. Just know this is coming. Be ready for it. You say to a Republican congressman, we're going to send you home. They're going to say, yeah, you're not going to do that. You know why? Because then you'd put in a Democrat. Well, let me tell you, I would rather have someone that's my enemy out front and declared than I had to have someone that I think is my friend actually be a traitor in secret. We don't have to elect a Democrat. There is a thing called a primary. And if we band together, if we've got a conservative politician, congressman or senator that refuses to hear our voice, then I tell you what we do. We let him know real fast we will run against him in the primary and we'll beat him. We have enough votes to defeat any Republican running for any office. You say, well, that can't be so. Yeah, it is. I can prove it. Donald Trump, in the primaries, the RNC establishment did everything they could do, including rigging and changing the rules in primary elections throughout this country, and he still won. That's our power, and we've got to use it.
Well, Larry, amen to that. You know, and I'll tell you, folks, you really want to listen to what this man is saying right now. The man has spent 28 years in the trenches in Washington, D.C. He knows how the game is played. And, you know, you might say like, oh, this is all, you know, that spooky stuff. It is spooky. Listen, it is spooky. And we need to stand up. But the only way we can stand up is to do exactly what Larry said. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. So you need to get to these town hall meetings. You need to get out there. You need to let our voices be heard louder than the voices of the enemy. And Larry, that excuse me, that segues us into the issue of the 28 years, segs us into the book that you and Mary Ellen wrote, 28 Years to Nowhere, folks. You can get it at LarryNicholesBooks.com, LarryNicholesBook, BOOK.com. And let's go over to Mary Ellen right now, Larry. Mary Ellen, talk to us a little bit about how you got involved in this and how you got involved in co-writing this book.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Oh, and I've got echo.
Oh, and I've got echo.
How do I get the echo? I don't. That's, oh good, it's gone. All right. Larry wanted to do his book, and he asked me. I guess I don't know what else to say about that. I've been editing school papers for 24 years for various people, and so he trusted me with it, and he would tell me what he wanted said, and we would work together and put it down on paper. And
that's awesome. Now, how did you and Larry first come cross paths?
like a lot of people, I first saw him on Alex Jones, and I called him one time last year and asked if he'd like me to make a quilt for a fundraiser, and I ended up making it for him instead. And we started talking and interacting, and I was always on his radio program, listening in when he had his radio show. And I was part of the small group that went on the conference call with him last year and learned how to work against voter fraud and help promote the video he put out last year, and started working very hard, contacting voter fraud group here in Maryland, contacting various Republican groups in Maryland and in Pennsylvania to talk about the things that I had learned from what Larry would teach on the conference call. And I just started spreading the word.
Well, that's great stuff, Mary Ellen. I mean, that's another example, folks. Mary Ellen got out there, got busy, got active. And she did that following Larry's game plan. Now, Larry, tell us a little bit about 28 Years to Nowhere.
Well, Mike, for 28 years, to be honest, personally, I felt like I was living a double life. There's me, that I am. But then when I get on the radio and do all of the hundreds, if not thousands of programs I've done all over the country, Larry Nicholes came to life that the listeners created. You know, a guy 10 foot tall, blonde headed, built like a brick house, could jump tall buildings in a single bound. You know, that there was this image of this guy, Larry Nicholes, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm not overly brave. I'm not overly anything. I'm as average as any person listening to me now. I did, however, work with the Clintons, probably as high up, probably the highest up of anybody's worked with them. Got involved at the dirt level, sleazy level, and then finally woke up. I guess God got my attention, and so I came out to tell the truth. But I wanted to write a book when Hillary was defeated. I believed, as you know, Mike, even Jeannie, I mean, y'all were great comfort to me because I didn't realize it, but once Hillary was defeated, I was lost. I had no reason to live. I had done what I came to do. But in the book, I take you through pieces of that journey, what it was really like, the inside story to what I saw, not what y'all saw on the radio, what I saw and how it was. And then I also tried in the book to tell you what's coming and give you hope. If you would, you could stop it. And I've got to say about Mary Ellen, one of the things when she agreed to, you know, help me with the book, there was one thing I wanted. You know, I really wanted this, Mike, and I don't know why. Maybe it was pride. I have no idea. But other people have written about me and said things, you know, taken things I've said. I didn't want it to come out, Mike, all stiff and proper. I didn't know if it could be done, but I wanted somebody, and it ended up being Mary Ellen, that when a reader reads the book, I want them to hear me in my tongue. I want them to hear me talk, not some writer. I want them to hear me talk. And to Mary Ellen's credit, beyond credit, I don't know what you would say, but from everything people have told us, she did it exactly. And I can't say enough about Mary Ellen and her talent and her skill that she brought. I mean, you know, because I would just, what we did actually is I would just dictate, you know, I would just tell my story. And she recorded it, or Michael Ortega did, but then Mary Ellen would take it and she would run all the facts and check the facts, and You know, she was incredible when it comes to things when you're talking in person. There's things you say that when you put them in print don't work out. She fixed all that, but she was still able to keep it as though it was what I said. I mean, it was what I said.
Larry, even
I
Jeannie.
would ask everybody, if you can, and I don't say it because of monetary gain, I'm saying this. That book is 28 Years to Nowhere, but it's subtitled An Inspirational Tragedy. You know, I want people to take strength from the fact that any one of you out there, if you make your mind up, if there's something that you believe you love so much that you would die to protect it, your family, anything, you can help us and you can work to save this country. The inspirational tragedy, so I hope I've inspired you. The tragedy is, look at my life and what it cost me. It doesn't have to cost everybody that. If we stand together, it doesn't have to be an inspirational tragedy.
Larry, those are the true words of a patriot, brother. God bless you for saying that. Mary Ellen, I think you had something you wanted to say.
Well, I think Jeannie has commented to me in reading the book that she said it felt like she was just sitting down in front of the fireplace with Larry talking to her. And I think that was just a gift from God to make it possible to take what Larry said, how he dictated it, and to make it flow so that the book really does sound like Larry's talking like you hear him on the air, and it's a relaxed format. And I mean, we have people who've said they can't turn the pages fast enough. They just can't wait to hear what he has to say next. He's just a masterful storyteller. It was just such a privilege to be able to be part of telling his story. And it was just an answer to prayer that when it was done, it sounded still like he had, like he was reading it to you. And, you know, I've got several people to vouch for that. And I'm thrilled to have been able to make that possible for Larry. And, you know, we've got 6 chapters on his life. There's a chapter on what it cost him. But it, like Larry said, it doesn't have to cost. Maybe it cost him so much because he was doing it alone. And that just wasn't fair. But, you know, throughout history, there have been those lone voices that see the truth and cry out, and they're ignored. And we can't continue like that and hope that our country will be saved. We have to have more people. Like Larry said, what we have is our voice. And we need more people with a voice sharing what's coming, talking about it, and helping to stop. Because when light shines in the darkness vanishes. So the dark, deep state and what they're planning can't go forward with all their plans when they're exposed. I mean, we saw that with stopping Hillary.
Well, Mary Ellen, you're just dead on, and what a blessing Larry has been to all of us. I think, you know, folks, we all thought that when Trump was elected, the battle was over, but really, and Larry would support me in what I'm going to say right now, that was just the very start of the battle. Wouldn't you agree, Larry?
Well, as a matter of fact, the book was written right after the victory of Hillary. But in the book, I tell that it's coming. That it's coming. You know, I knew then that the battle was just beginning, Mike. I knew then. Yeah. And, you know, I'll tell y'all the truth. My plans were that I was done. Mike, Jeannie, Mary Ellen, anybody that knew me knew I went through a period of time where it was over for me. health, everything, bunch of stuff. But here I am again. Here I go again. I don't know if y'all thought about it, but how would you like to be the one man standing up and saying what the Democrats in Washington, the Republicans and Democrats, the establishment, the media, how would you like to be the one standing up making a statement like they're going to impeach Donald Trump in 6 months if we don't stop him?
Well, that's a bold statement, brother, and you're not alone now, I can tell you that.
Well,
Folks, here's some things you might not know. You know, the people that are on the inside in DC call Larry, and then Larry tells us what they've told him, and he tells us the truth about what's going on. You know, he's been shot at, he's had death threats, and that's gone on for years. And now the time has come for us to help Larry. Larry won't tell you, but I will tell you, Larry is very sick. And my wife, Jeannie, is joining me now. Say hi to Larry and Mary Ellen, Jeannie.
Hi, Larry.
hey, Jenny.
And I want you guys to understand that this is a man who served our country. He's a veteran. He went to DC. He worked for, then exposed the Clintons, and now he needs your help, and he needs it in a big way, and he needs it today, not next week, not next month. Here is the tragedy, folks, of what happens due to the healthcare system that we currently have that was given to us by that guy who said he'd make what did he say?
You can use your own doctor.
Yeah, and he ran on the platform of change or whatever. You know, none of us got to keep any change. And what's happened now is Larry's reached the ceiling of his health care benefits. So every treatment he has, and folks, these aren't little treatments. These are life-saving treatments that Larry is undergoes. He has to pay for them out of his own pocket, and he's depleted. He's depleted, folks. All of his savings, his home's in jeopardy, his cars are in jeopardy. But look what he does. He keeps coming on shows like this. He keeps going on. He keeps getting out there. He keeps speaking the truth. And so I am asking you, as a listener of this show, as an American, as a patriot, as someone who appreciates what veterans have done and what men who are brave and tell the truth have done, I'm asking you, make a donation today to help Larry Nichols to pay for his health care that he needs to keep living and keep blessing us with the truth that he tells. And the way that you can do this today, I'm going to give you a couple of ways. Perhaps the easiest way is just to go to our website, HearTheWatchmenMen.com. Again, HearTheWatchmenMen.com. In the upper left-hand corner, there's a donate button. That is a PayPal donate button. It's going to take you to a portal. Put in what you can donate. Let's raise $5,000, and let's do it let's do it by Monday, Memorial Day. Let's do it by then. 5,000. It's not that much, folks. If you can give 20, 50, 100, 500, whatever you can do, go on there, click that button, make a donation, and in the notes section on there, you won't see the notes section. You'll make your donation, then you'll click on it. The next page, you can set a note in there. Just let us know this is for Larry, and tell us how much you appreciate what he's done. Mary Ellen, would you tell us how they can get directly to Larry's PayPal account?
Yes, and I will say, we've got the echo again. How to stop that? Good. His PayPal account is NicholesLive@AOL.com. NicholesLive@AOL.com is his PayPal directly into his account. When he gets his treatment, he comes on air strong, fully cogent and ready to get in the fight and help as much as he always has done through all these years. And when the funds aren't there to be able to get the little bit of help that he needs, he has to put off being able to come out. And now that he's starting a new program where he wants to come on YouTube every day and give us an update every day on things that we can do, it's really, really important that he be able to do that. When I think of what our team did, there's a couple chapters in the book that describe the conference calls that we had, how he went from his radio program to the conference call format, and the things that the team did to make a difference. And it really doesn't take a lot. If each person does something small and doesn't quit, the little things that each team member did contributed, and it was a small team, and we made a huge difference. We made phone calls together. When the RNC, the National Convention, was coming up, there were key players, key people that he gave us the names, and we made calls, and we made calls, and we made calls. And the governor of Maine was doing something that we really appreciated, and we made calls. And he knows the ones that are the key to contact and what to say. He can give us a script to say, tell us exactly what to say. And if people will just join the effort to do that, we can take this country back.
That's right, Mary Ellen. You know, you've inspired us so much. And Larry, you have been an amazing inspiration, because to know that a man that was involved on the dark side has turned his life around, and over the last 28 years has fought relentlessly without giving up. Now, you know, he's struggling for his life. People count on him. I mean, he has people in the deep state, not just the government, but the deep state contacting him, giving him intel. They're afraid for their life. They're afraid for their job. But Larry Nichols is not. And we need to keep this man fighting. We need to keep him alive. We need to raise funds for him. And please do not take this lightly. He is one of the few men that we can trust that is devoted. He has nothing to lose, you guys. He has nothing to lose. He's fighting for his life. We need to keep him alive. We need to support him. Please, just think about it. Instead of going out to dinner this weekend, spending $50 on you know, a nice dinner, make a sacrifice. Give $50 to Larry Nichols to the fund. Go to our website, hearthewatchmen.com, push the donate button, or go to what is it? Nichols Live at AOL.com and make a donation, make a firm donation. We are putting our money where our mouth is. We are helping him too. We know that some of you can't afford to maybe donate money. Pray, okay? You know, the power of prayer is so phenomenal. Please pray to give the conviction to those who can't afford to help him. And please, everyone, this Memorial Weekend coming up, you know, Larry was a veteran. Let's honor him, okay? And let's pray for him and pray for his recovery. Pray for those that can afford to give a few bucks to please donate to him, okay? We're not keeping any of the donations. 100% of everything we raise is gonna go to Larry. So please be generous and help him. We beg of you, okay? We need Larry Nichols. Our country needs Larry Nichols.
Now,
Jenny,
go ahead.
Jenny, can I say something, please?
Absolutely.
It's so important. Look, folks, I have lung disease. And Mary Ellen has been here. She's seen. And it's terrible.
It's rough if he doesn't have his oxygen. And
I'd like to do a show, but I want y'all to do me one favor. Do me a huge favor. I'm ashamed. I am so ashamed that I have to beg, people have to beg for me. But remember this. Take the money money totally away. I don't care if not a cent comes to me. Don't let that turn you away from the message. Please. If you may hate me, you may hate everything about me, you may not like me, it doesn't matter. Go back 28 years and go on that internet and look at what I have said. Look at what I have said would happen. Look what they have said that was opposite of me. And compare for yourself. Look for yourself, and I guarantee you, folks, I promise you, over the 28 years, what I've said has come to pass. I'm no prophet. Don't deceive yourself. I am no prophet. I know because I am them. I'm just like them. And I'm changed. I've changed. I look at my daughter and my grandbabies, and I changed. But don't let me being broke and living in poverty and having nothing, and just don't let that deter from what I'm telling you, please. And Mike, Jeannie, I want to tell y'all a test that you should take, every one of you. In the morning, and I want you to tune to, Morning Joe. Just 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes of time. 5. Hear what they say. In the military, it's very important to us to know what the enemy's doing. Tune over to MSNBC or CNN. Listen for 5 minutes at what you hear. Then, for the time being, and it's changing, but you can turn over to Fox then. Listen to what they say. But the real important one is what MSNBC and CNN are saying. Listen to it. Because, guys, that's what 98% of America are hearing. Do you hear me? 98% of America is hearing what they say on MSNBC, at Morning Joe, and CNN. You may ask me how that is. Well, 98% of the people in America of voting age get 100%, Mike, Jenny, 100% of that which they call the news necessary for them to make decisions about their country on the 6 and 10 o'clock evening news. 6 and 10 o'clock. Now, let's break that down. By the time you take an hour-long 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock, if it's an hour where you are, news, we're going to take the hour format. By the time they do local news, local weather, local sports, and their local feature for the day, you end up between 4 and 7 minutes of national news on the average. 4 to 7 minutes.
Insane.
Now, your local television station, wherever you are, when they're reporting national news, you need to know this. They don't have a reporter in Washington or New York. They ain't got one there. What happens is ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, they feed to all of the local television stations in America. They feed everything. So what you get there is all they get.
Yeah.
Larry, I mean, you're so dead on. I mean, I'll tell you what, you want to come on my show 5 days a week and do the Larry Nichols sit rep for 10 minutes every morning, you're welcome to, brother.
Well, thank you.
I'll tell you what, folks, what a man this is, what a patriot this is. And now he needs your help. You've all been willing. I mean, I see the numbers, 80,000 of you who watched this show when I had Larry on the first time, and I think 97,000 the second time. I don't know those exact numbers, but they're big numbers, have watched him. You've listened to what he had to say. You take his information. You know, you leave comments that are appreciative 90% of the time. And you know what, folks? Now it's your turn. It's your turn to put your hand out and help him. And what a better way this weekend. Memorial Day is Monday. Let's actually save a veteran rather than honor a veteran like we do on Memorial Day who has given his life for this country. Let's take a veteran who's given his life for this country and save him. So get on board. Go to HearTheWatchMen.com. Click that donate button. Do it today. And let's change this man's life. He's changed your life. How about just helping us change his a little bit?
And by the way, guys, look, if Larry knew we were going to do this, he probably wouldn't come on our show. He has nothing to do with what we're doing.
Yeah, we ambushed him, didn't we?
Yeah, sorry, Larry, but you know what?
Now, Mary Ellen played a part in that. She's not getting out of this. She's not getting out of this unscathed, Larry.
But look, Larry, I'm sorry. You know, I know how hard it is to raise money for yourself, and you don't believe you deserve it. Well, I'm here to tell you that God knows you deserve it. We know you deserve it. We know that it's so important that our listeners understand what you did, not only to get Trump elected with your team, but how we need to keep building a team and building and building. And we need your leadership, Larry. We need you healthy. And we all need to pray for Larry Nicholes, okay? At very least, pray for him and pray for those that, like I said earlier, who have the means to help him financially, that they do so. We promise you 100% of all the proceeds that are raised will go directly to Larry or go to his own
physician.
No, his own.
I think we want us to pay his doctor directly.
No. Go to his own PayPal.
And what is, again, Mary Ellen?
Nicholes live at
AOL.com.
NICHOLS live at AOL. Nicholes live at AOL.com. So go to PayPal. That's his PayPal
email address. Just click, by the way, folks, when you do that, click on their send money to a friend.
Right.
And there's no fee involved in it. So every dime that you want to donate will go directly to Larry. And you know, rather than pay PayPal their percentage. So guys, listen, we're out of time today. I really want to say thank you to Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for everything you've done for Larry, for the book, everything else. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Larry, brother, what can I say? You know, we're here for you. We've got your back. I'm deadly serious. If you want to do Larry's sit rep daily, I'm here to help you.
Yeah, 5-10 minutes a day.
I'm here to help you with that. So we'll be in touch soon. Larry, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, Mike, Jeannie, thank y'all. And in case the audience doesn't know, they help financially and have bailed me out big time, so I can never pay them back for all they've done.
Oh, we don't
Thank
want
you.
you to pay us back.
Yeah.
You paid our country back,
Yeah,
and
you-
you've paid.
We're paying you back, brother. That's the way that works out. So, you know, listen, folks.
Thank you both.
We love
Thank
you.
you.
We love you,
Thank
Larry.
you,
And we
Larry.
pray for you.
Thank you, Larry. So, folks, listen. Get busy. Get active. Get up off the couch. Make that donation. Get out there. Go to the next town hall meeting. Make a change in America. It's up to us. So God bless each and every one of you out there. Until we see you next time on Hear the Watchman's Report, have a wonderful, wonderful day.